My name's Jesse Edelson, and I'm so glad to be here helping Lucy in one of her eco art projects. I am actually an eco artist myself and was part of the 2010 Eco Art Apprenticeship here in Martin County, and I also grew up in Palm City, so this area has a lot of personal significance to me. It's where I grew up, the place that I love, and I'm just so happy to be here helping out Lucy and working with the community on this very special community engagement day where as the artists, we are helping to facilitate the community bring out their feelings and put some emotional content into the project.
Our job is, as artists, is to serve as kind of a creative, maybe a creative guide onto these breakout committees or these breakout groups. As the citizens are coming together, we want to help them to creatively design some of this space, the water storage space, and how to integrate it into their lifestyle in a way that makes them, evoke good feelings. And our job, I see it as an artist, is to help kind of foster that creativity.
Sometimes we all forget is to keep remembering our eyes aren't our only sense. So you just here by the river, standing by the river, you can taste the river without even going in it. So we're here to help people at the table as they're creating to remember to keep using all those senses, because that's one of the things that artists, I think, may be tuned into a little more, and we practice quite often.
So what we found, the team and I, about Old Palm City is that it's got this great history and it's this desirable small town feel. Everybody loves that. And of course the water, there's a great appreciation for the water and a desire for it to be clean. And a respect for the environment, which is a part of the quality of life here. So as Susan was saying, this is funded by the National Endowment for the Art, and it is a creative placemaking grant. And so what that means, it's a little bit different than your usual charrettes, design charrettes that you have. And so it's about creative place making. So on the creative side, we use different creative artistic ways in the process. And then place, it's specifically about this place. Okay, we're not going to copy anything, it's about this place. And then the focus is on the process. Okay, so it's a bigger picture than just the result. So you all coming here and being involved up front, it's very proactive. The engineers are going to present what they're dealing with and why they have to do what they do. So it's very proactive. And so when the community is in this process, it builds the community. Everybody's talking together. The community involvement can continue after this is done. And that's what's so important about creative placemaking. I love that little Rupal thing. You have to do that again. So it's engagement and design, and part of the creative placemaking process is there's a lot of people involved. Public, private, nonprofit. And these are just some of the organizations. We don't even go into all the names. And a lot you'll meet today.
So one of the things that the state and federal government has put upon Martin County is to meet certain water quality targets, and they call them a total maximum daily load. And that's just a numeric water quality target that the state and federal government is requiring Martin County and many municipalities and counties across the entire nation to meet. In fact, the state government has known that our St. Lucie River and estuary has been impaired since 1996. So we've known for a long time, and we're slowly working through the government process to get to where we have a plan to improve water quality in our area. And that plan that the state calls, and that actual federal government calls it also, is a Basin Management Action Plan. And that plan is driving us to build projects and improve water quality throughout the watershed, although we've already been doing that for 17, 18 years or more, knowing that these regulations were going to be coming into place. The state helped us develop our water quality target. That was developed in 2009. And then it took the state and the county and other stakeholders another several years until 2013 to develop this basin management action plan about how we move forward. And it covers several basins within Martin County. Basins 4, 5, 6, which is basically the Old Palm City area, C23, C24, C44, and then you have the North Fork, which moves up into St. Lucie County, and then the South Fork, which covers the C44 and goes down into towards the lake. Besides Martin County, there's 16 other entities that have to help us meet these goals. So DOT, City of Stewart, Port St. Lucie County, Fort Pierce, City of Port St. Lucie, I think I already said. We're all working collectively to meet the load within these 514, 646 acres that comprise the entire St. Lucie watershed basin. This is what the watershed looks like. You can see it extends all the way up in St. Lucie County. These are the different basins that comprise the BMAP area. We're kind of, Old Palm City is in basins 4, 5, 6, and the South Fork right in this area. So that you can see how large the basin covers, what kind of a watershed that we're dealing with when we're trying to meet water quality targets.
We've been constructing the stormwater projects in Martin County since 2000. We have constructed, in the last 18 years, we've constructed about 36 projects to a tune of $72 million. Of those $72 million, the county has been fairly successful in leveraging our money to get grant money, and through both federal and state grants. And about 55% of that $72 million has been grant funds, and 45% of it has been our own local funds. So we've been fairly successful in leveraging our money to get grant money. Let's see, 17 years of constructing projects, 39 completed projects. Some of the projects are septic to sewer conversion projects. Some of the projects we did get credit for the Veterans Memorial Bridge. We did some water quality work there. So we got a couple. We did a couple projects and got a couple credits or some credits to the BMAP. Over 85 million spent. 85 million, that does include the septic to sewer conversions. Yeah, 11 was spent on the sewer. More than 13,800 acres in Martin County has been treated. This is the scale of where we're at. The BMAP and the TMDL process that Diane was explaining, it is a 15-year process. It was adopted, the BMAP was adopted in 2013. It is split up into 3 5-year increments. So we're here at 2018. We were supposed to have 30% of our reduction goal met by 2018. And where we are is we've actually met our total nitrogen reduction by 133%. So we have completely met our TMDL requirements for nitrogen. We're lacking a little bit on phosphorus. We've met the total reduction load for phosphorus. It's about 57%, but we are over the 30% that we were supposed to accomplish by the end of the first iteration. With that said, we are at the end of this first iteration, going into the second iteration. And at each of those intervals, all the stakeholders get together, we reevaluate, things do change, okay? We're talking about changing the model in which, improving upon the model in which we calculate these numbers. So these numbers can shift, somewhat. So, you know, in next year when we come back, this number may be a little less, it may be a little more. Same thing with total phosphorus, and that would be due to the refinement of the model as we go through this TMDL process. To speak specifically to Old Palm City in this project, the Ripple project, what we are looking to do is we're looking to use this piece of property, which is owned by the county. We're looking to use this piece of property owned by the county, and we're looking to use this property owned by the county, and maybe something out here within this road right-of-way, and interconnect these pieces of property with underground pipe system.
The northern site, you know, we're looking at a wet detention area. The middle site, we're looking at a bioswale or wetland. Same with the southern site, and then possibly before discharge to the river, we're looking at a dry retention type form of treatment. We're going to go through the different types of treatment options that we're going to be looking at. First is wet detention. What is wet detention? You know, in essence, it's a lake. What does it do? It contains a permanent pool volume, which, you know, means it always has water, overlying a zone in which the stormwater fluctuating volume temporarily increases the depth, meaning the lake gets higher when you get rainfall. And then there's also a shallow littoral zone that acts as a biological filter, and these are typically close to the banks. Wet detention pond design, we're limited on this project on where we can actually put a wet detention pond. We have to design to South Florida Water Management District criteria. And, you know, just basically, one, it has to be a ½ acre minimum. Two, it has to be large enough, meaning their criteria that you need to have 100-foot minimum average width at the lake level. And then you also have to consider future maintenance. So you have to leave room around the outside of the lake for the county to be able to maintain it. So and then there's also considerations for this project, if we're going to put in pathways or landscaping or other type of art features. The water level is also called the control elevation, typically called the control elevation. This is the level at which the water typically sits during dry periods. And then any treatment or storage that we provide would be measured above that level. And that's typically pretty close to the groundwater table. So, like I was saying, we're kind of limited on where we can put a wet detention on this project. We have the 3 large sites that we're looking at. That's the northern site, and those 2 are the southern sites. As you can see, we can fit a minimum size detention area on the northern site and have room around the outside for maintenance access. If we try to put that same footprint on the other sites, it just won't fit. So if we're going to look at doing wet detention, we'll be limited to that northern site. This is an example of wet detention, a stormwater treatment area that was completed by the county. This is down by the Indian Street Bridge in Old Palm City. There's a before and an after picture. And then I'm going to let Chris talk a little bit about the wet detention, the types of plants we're looking at.
Yeah, so what you'll see as we go through the presentation is that with the 5 different types of water treatment systems that we have here, there's also a different plant palette that associates with each. Obviously, biologically, certain plants can handle, they're more tolerant to wet conditions versus dry conditions. So some of the plants that we're using, and you'd be familiar with these if you spend a lot of time sort of walking around Palm City. You'll see some of these plants used in other detention areas. Things like bulrush and pickerel weed are pretty common. Spike rush is another nice plant. We're all familiar with the state tree, the cabbage palm, we hope. Cordgrass, Fire flag. Paratus palm is you know, a native palm, one of only 11 in the state actually that are native to Florida. It does really nicely in shade and really loves water. The bald cypress and red maple. So these are the types of plantings that you'll see around the perimeter of the wet detention areas.
Another type of treatment that we're going to be looking at on the other sites is dry detention or dry retention. And what does that mean? They're depressed areas where the runoff is temporarily stored until it infiltrates into the ground or it's discharged to surface waters. So meaning typically when it's not raining and a day or so after a rain event, these are supposed to be dry. What you'll hear us say detention or retention, what's the difference? Detention systems discharge to, the water quality treatment volume discharges to surface waters. Retention, the water quality treatment volume infiltrates into the ground. So that's the difference between the two. The soil conditions out there and the groundwater table will typically determine if one or the other can be or will be used. Like I said, these areas are normally dry. By design, the water table is usually at least 1 foot below the surface of the area. And there are criteria in design that it must draw down within a certain period after a storm event. Typical layouts for detention and retention are shallow landscaped areas and vegetated swales. And some of the neighborhood benefits of this type of treatment, it's temporary water storage. It provides a platform and an educational opportunity, and it's typically used in public parks. And I'm going to pass it back over to Chris.
So in dry detention areas, these are probably plants that you're more familiar with because we use, they're the kind of things you will find in your yard because dry detention is essentially mostly dry. So we're going to try and introduce color with things like blanket flower and black-eyed Susan, purple cone flower, which is echinacea. You might drink echinacea tea, for example. That's where it comes from. Fakahatchee grass, muley grass, cord grass, Walter's viburnum, saw palmetto we're all familiar with, and blue porterweed, which you see a lot, but you actually don't actually see the flowers very often. Of course, we pick all the best pictures of plants, and they change seasonally. So, and we also have our trees. So slash pine, everyone is familiar with, cabbage palm, live oak. And we're going to use Daehoon hollies here, which also tolerate some water as well. Simpson stopper and wax myrtle, which you would all be familiar with.
I'll just let you.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah.
So wetlands, so the difference between a wetland and a wet retention area is that the water in a wetland fluctuates seasonally. So there are times when it'll hold water, and there are times when it will appear to be dry. And so what we use here are what we call facultative species. And these are plants that can handle inundation on a seasonal level, and then also work in dry conditions. And you saw some of these in our dry retention area. So canna lily and swamp lily are really good in wetlands. Fakahatchee grass towards the upland side. Saw palmetto and cordgrass. Cabbage palm, it's a state tree for a reason. It handles everything in Florida. Red maple, bald cypress, and Parotis palm. You want me to talk about bioswales too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So bioswales, you may have heard the term also rain gardens. That's what a bioswale essentially is. It's a depression in the ground. In this case, we're using the bioswales along some of the pedestrian paths. this is not a section for this project. This is just an example. But as an example, we'll probably have a walkway, along a bioswale, which will connect the surface water, like collect the surface water that will then get piped underground. And the reason that we plant these is because the plants essentially act as a filter. So all of the pollutants that we have on the surface of the earth, the oils and resins that come off our tires and our cars, they, obviously they impact water quality. And what we use plants for is basically to filter those pollutants before they get into, for example, here the river or our other, groundwater. The plants also anchor a lot of, Greg was referring to the phosphates and nitrogen. And so what plants do is they actually use phosphorus and nitrogen, and so they fix it into the soil and keep it from getting into the water body. So plants are great for engineering, not just beautification. I think I covered most of this, so we'll just skip it. So in the bioswale here, we'll be using things like blazing star and arrowhead. You'll see muley grass and swamp lily, canna lily, Fakahatchee grass. Also very versatile. You've seen that in all our palettes. Salt palmetto, blue flag iris, and milkweed.
What they were trying to work into this project was to have a vacuum station house. It's a small little structure. Hopefully we can fit this onto one of our sites. The benefit is the conversion is real. The construction and the design is happening. You're looking at the schedule there, real construction in 2021. So now's the layout of the design. This is news to us this week. So this hasn't had a really good chance to inject into our design. We've also, we didn't touch on it, is gaining some environmental information to make sure that things can work, because we're not going to build something that has a negative environmental impact. So we need the land to cooperate with building this building. So with that being said, the county's moving full steam ahead on improving water and sewer. And the other benefit I heard, which was fantastic, was like an electrical connection for backup during emergency outings that they were giving you. So those are three neat things that are happening. They seem to only benefit this project in terms of what we're doing, that we'll actually be able to probably use a couple of their construction dollars to help us do some grading, so to make this project even more feasible, give us more options to spend money to get the best result we can get out of this. So it's really a nice situation where multiple departments have pretty much the same goal here, which is improving everybody's needs in this community, which now having the septic being, or having the septic conversion being involved in this is, I think, a great opportunity for all of us.
So what we're here today, we wanted to give you information and updates, and we need your creative input. So we want to do work that illustrates the poetry of as a drop of water becomes a river. That's what happens here. As it rains and you have this beautiful river out there. And so we want to do it so that it's unique to Old Palm City. Now I'm going to run through some examples of what's been done in other communities, but please keep in mind, we're not going to copy. It needs to be specifically for this project, for the stormwater treatment area, and for your neighborhood. So these are misting sculptures, and some can be on the edge of a bank, and some can be in the middle of a lake. Sculptures on the water's edge that tells a story. This is a place, it's called Laughing Brook, and it's a restoration project. And so the artist took the hands of man that were working on restoration and turned it into fish. So it goes from sculptures of hands to sculptures of fish that tell the story about the restoration and that they're bringing the fish populations back. These are murals. These are murals on natural stone, Florida stone. You know, maybe that's something you want to see here. Not this, but something that's about Old Palm City. Again, some other tiles and sculptures. And then what about sculptures that create energy? Maybe that's an option. Or sculptures that store water and use for irrigation. And then using recycled sidewalk slabs as retaining walls, or using stormwater pipes as fountains. And then what about sculptural shade structures or seating? These are all possibilities. And then what about making the invisible visible? So this is a, thank you, Diane. This is a picture Diane contributed because she was so thrilled to see that they exposed for the community a baffle box so people understood what happens underground. And this is a stormwater infrastructure as well. So is that something we could do? Is that something you want to see? And then seating. There's all kinds of ways to make seating, you know, natural stone, wood, or cast stone. And then there's also rain gardens that we can do. Pathways, trails, and wayfinding.
You'd have gotten this out earlier.
No, it's not working. It's fun.
Go start playing.
So here's the thing. Because here's the thing. You saw how the criteria with what we have to do with stormwater treatment. So I may not be able to do everybody's design, but if I know why it's important, maybe I can include that why it's important in the final. It's nice to visit.
Flows through here, and then there's a little swale area that goes down, and then it's again culverts and it's pipes down here.
I guess my engineering side, I just went 2D. A lot of you went 3D, so I just went 2D. I'm thinking the top northeast pond would be a lake, kind of shaped, you know. We engineers like to make things like this rectangle piece of paper. We typically don't put shape to things, you know. We're straight line type people, but I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking a little more shapely.
Brother, it's efficiency.
These yellow and orange areas would be littoral shelves. They would be the shallower water type areas planted with plants. The dark blue, or the blue area would be more the deep water lake. The green area would be a walking path around it. So, and then that would be interconnected into the central area, and we were talking a bioswale area for that, and maybe in the shape of an alligator. You know, maybe dig it out and make it a shape of an alligator. So when you can, you know, from the site, from the air, you can see, and then you could plant it with different types of plants to give that alligator its color and its shape.
That's not very engineer-like.
No, I was in touch with my left side of the brain instead of the right side of the brain. Yes. So in these little areas over here would just be little maybe dry detention areas, and they could be planted with plants and also. And I was also thinking the pump house. We were talking about the pump house, and Lucy had in one of her slides a picture of the old post office, you know, and that old 1910, 1920 architecture, and maybe make that pump house look like the old style architecture of old Martin County. So, and then that would go down to this area and Old Palm City. I was thinking palm trees and kind of a yin and a yang type thing, one going one way and the other going the other way. And then, you know, you could do the trunks. You could do, you know, the babbling brook idea that this table had, or the rock, the rock pathways, and then the palm fronds could be planted with different colored plants to bring out that color. So those are my thoughts and ideas.
You're dynamic.
The also, yeah, you are.
It's working.
The other, yeah, I'm going to the other side. I'm going to the dark side. I'm losing my
I see his math skills fading.
Yeah, exactly. And the one thing, the one thing that I do like is actually going back to the right side, the engineering side. Water flowing through rocks is a good thing, okay? Because what happens is the biology, the little bacteria grows on those rocks. It creates surface area. Think of all that surface area in those rocks, that bacteria, and then as the water goes through it, very slowly, it cleans it up. So rocks in water is a good thing. So.
Some of us, we didn't necessarily have specific areas of just kind of ideas that could work. And then Steve, for the, what was it, the pump house, he created a crab pump house design. It was the idea of that, you know, bringing in the educational component and maybe to interpretive art markers and purposely plant things that would maybe target certain flora or fauna along the way. And then we also were discussing making it accessible for who? For, you know, just walkers, or did we want dogs to be able to come? And that kind of brought up a conversation of are people responsible? And then, you know, so do we want to educate people along the way to be responsible for their new area that they're living? So, you know, all similar to what you guys were saying, but I think education and accessibility personally are too big. And mist, I like mist in there. We're gonna need a lot of mist.
But it also promotes education for people to take care of their community and take care of the leaves that are making a mess. And
I pictured more of the educational site where we might have elements for slightly larger groups, you know, maybe 2 or 3 couples at a time, something that could accommodate a small group just sitting and talking, something like that.
Palm City had a post office and it had a church, and it had people, and it had a lot of land. And at that time, there were two school buses for all of Martin County.
Wow.
One went around the loop road and the other one picked up locally. It was very primitive, and I grew up in those 40 acres, and I was a tomboy, and if I wanted to play with somebody, I had to go 1.5 miles to play with a girl. So, so I was into everything, climbing trees, into Fraser Creek and Danford Creek and Inner Tube, and you made your own fun. This was swampland, and everything was going into the river. Of course, it was not polluted because everybody had their own well. You made your own well. Nobody had a business of making a well for you. There was no planning. You just bought a piece of property and did what you wanted with it. I love to see what's going on. I'm so glad that somebody cares about where they live. That's important.
Where was your house here in Palm City?
Both on going out to Martin Downs on 714. There's a sign that says Blasco Lane. Every house I've ever lived in has been built by the family.
And how many people live there?
It was it was my grandmother and my grandfather, and my sister and I, and that's it.
How many rooms?
Well, they built one room first. Well, actually, the first house burnt down because they were out clearing the lands of palmettos, and they were dynamiting them.
Oh, wow.
And they were cooking some beans on the kerosene stove, and they had a shelf above that for the lamp if you were going to cook at night. Well, the dynamite fell down on the open fire, and that house burned. The whole community gathered around the church, which was the Congregational Church, the only church in Palm City. And I think it's interesting that that was the church of the Pilgrims, and it was also the church that was involved in the Underground Railroad.
Oh.
So most people don't know that. The ministers from up north would come down just to say in the parsonage they didn't have any money to pay for them. I remember at one time the take-in for them was 28 cents. It made such an impression on me.
Oh my goodness.
But they were glad to have some place to come in Florida.
Yeah, sure.
My dad retired in Miami and built his dream house here on the shores of South Fork of the St. Lucie River. A year later, in 1972, my husband and I were married at the chapel, the outdoor chapel, on Christmas Day, right on 34th Street there. What was most noticeable for us was that Sailfish Lodge was still there, right next to us, the huge property, the fishing and hunting lodge there, and there were still quite a few of the cabins around. It was very rural. Often saw snakes on 34th Terrace. Sometimes we even had them in the house, which wasn't quite as pleasant. But and my dad loved Palm City so much, he became the mayor of Palm City and worked very much to keep Palm City from being annexed to Stewart, which they wanted to do at one time. He also kept the post office in Palm City. They were going to take that to Stewart, and that Palm City would not have had a post office, and he wrote many, many letters. The only thing he didn't succeed in, or the one thing that would have been important, what was important to him, was that he wanted to try to keep I-95 close to the turnpike instead of bulging out here, so that it would be useful to Martin County residents. And unfortunately, he couldn't fight City Hall or County Hall or whatever. And at that time, as county, you could buy the office of mayor, and there was dog catcher, and there were, tax collector and everything. There were several people who were so interested in Palm City that they got together. He formed the first, Chamber of Commerce in Palm City. There was also a yacht club in Palm City. Well, it was very important in our area with the canals. There were canals where we live right on one of the ditches that takes the water into the South Fork. And there were many other canals. And at that time, unfortunately, they weren't so the county didn't seem to worry about it so much, and they let builders fill some of the others in. And just push the dirt in, and then they build big quadruplexes and things on 36th Street. There were more of these drainage areas, and they took almost all of them out. I think ours is the only one that's left.
And so what brought you here tonight? Why was it important for you to be here tonight?
Well, because I love Palm City. I have a house here. I still enjoy coming with my husband from Vienna, Austria, and I feel the connection. I mean, being married here, and I mean, many times I was here 2 or 3 times a year to visit my parents and to be part of the community.
So you do have a house here, though?
Yes, we have
Okay.
yeah,
So
have a house.
are you like a snowbird type of person? I mean,
Yes.
obviously, you're not
Yes.
from New York or something, but you come here for season, basically.
Exactly.
I
Yes.
got you.
Yeah. Mhm.
What do you make of what they want to do now with this sort of stormwater treatment art project? What do you think about it?
I think that's wonderful. I think I'd like to see the beautification and Map Road and whatever. And it is important because of all the strength of the hurricanes. They're getting worse and worse. We never had flooding, although we're in a flood area. But it looks like that it might be a future possibility, and it's better to think ahead of time what could be done to kind of avoid that.